Hello, Debbie Stone, and this is my network marketing story, part 2. So yesterday, I briefly took you through how I got involved in network marketing, and I briefly talked about my experience and who introduced me. So if you haven't listened to that, go back and check out that video. It's posted here in the group. So part 2. What happened? What did I first initially find? So I'm in a system, right? It's an educational platform that teaches network marketing. All the skills and all the bells and whistles are in that back office, right? And they have training and webinars throughout the week. It's ongoing and they're with you all the time. Now, my first look into the back office, I had this training that I'd also bought at the same time. So this training that I bought was a 100-day business builder challenge. Now, I thought that was all part of the back office, and it was a 12-week course. So I started consuming that course, thinking that was the complete package with my setup, that I had to go through these 12 weeks, right, 3 months of assignments before digging deep, which wasn't the case at all, right? I was just a little bit, I'm going to use that dreaded O word that we're taught not to use, but I was just a little bit overwhelmed with everything that was back there in the back office. So they have in this community, yes, it's a community, it's a culture that I was in, weekly trainings every Wednesday. So what they do is they proceed to let you know what's out there. So if you're into, like, say, Twitter, they have Twitter trainings, Snapchat trainings, anything that's hot and new, something that they think you should be learning or maybe interested in, they give you these webinars. So with me being brand new, I'm jotting down all these notes, and I'm thinking that I have to have a foot in each camp. I have to know all these things and all these strategies and all the social media platforms. So I get an Instagram account and start working on it. I set up my email account and start inviting people to my newsletter. I check out their Fun Eliza, which helps build funnels. Could not master that. Took me 2 years before I was able to get that sorted out. But when you have these breakthroughs, it brings you to tears. You know, if you've been struggling with something for so long and you finally get an aha moment, or someone clarifies something for you, it may just be a little thing that someone says to you that unlocks the key that you've been fighting, trying to learn something, right? So I had one of those aha moments 2 years later, learning Fun Eliza, how to do a funnel. Lead capture pages, and throughout this 2.5-year experience to date, I've invested in myself and taken many courses. While I was in this platform, developed a blog, right? So everybody that was in the system was given a free blog set up in 2 clicks. So I couldn't even master that, couldn't get that set up and looking the way I wanted to. So I hired it done. Best $200 I'd ever spent. I could have spent 20 hours on it and still not got it to look as good as what it did. So I had my email list. I was showing up for trainings. They also have a wake-up call that they do in the morning. So I was taking, my notebooks were filled. I filled notebook after notebook, taking all these notes. And I sort of got bogged down in training and in that learning mode. So while it's good to learn, this is tip number 1. While it's good to learn, right, it's no good if it's going to be stuck in your notebook. You need to, if it's something that you need to learn, implement it. Do it. then go teach it, right? Someone else may need to know it as well. Pass on that information. If you don't need to know it, pass it on. Hey, I just heard if you're interested in blogging, this is what you do, or you might want to check this out, right? If there's, we have courses in the back office that we can leverage. Give to someone paid courses and free courses. So that all helps us in our email list as well. This system and this community is well worth a look at. But my experience with it was I was totally overwhelmed trying to learn too many things in too many different areas, right? So the top earners will say, pick one strategy and master it. So I can honestly say in the last 6 months, I've put myself in front of a mentor that I gel with that makes totally good sense. And it was an investment, a wise investment, because it gave me clarity, right? So if you want to know who that mentor is, how much it is, a little bit more about it, then drop me a comment or private message me and I'll put you in touch with that group mentor, right? So yes, in those 2 years, in those first 2 years, I consumed information. I got entrenched in learning mode. I actually got stuck in learning mode and the non-income producing activities. Whereas in the last 6 months, when I hooked up with this mentor, I finally got clarity in what I was supposed to be doing every single day, developing a daily method of operation, and what my income producing activities should be, right? And what I should be doing every day. So if I had a valuable piece of information, it is by all means invest in yourself and learn, but don't get stuck in that learning mode. Find out real quick what's going to put money in the bank, what's going to, what is, first off, an income producing activity, right? Because I was doing emails every single day, 5 days a week. While I'm growing my list and my open rate's improving, there's not as yet many sales through my email list. And to be quite honest, I've developed a better daily method of operation and got into income producing activities. And because those activities have increased over the day, I've cut back my emailing my list 5 days a week, giving valuable information, sometimes putting out a paid for training, and mostly free training and lots of value, but I've cut it from 5 days a week to 2. And my open rate's increased. Now that I'm not sending out 5 emails a week, my open rate has increased and I get to do less work. I've also stopped. Don't take my word for how you're going to do your business. This is just my experience. I forewent the blog as well. I find, and in my experience, and that's just my experience and opinion only, that's time consuming. And if I'm not using the funnels and the lead capture pages and driving traffic to that blog post, then that to me is not where my focus needs to be. So what I've learnt with this new mentor and this new group that has driven me to know my daily method of operation and my income producing activities, that's where my focus is now. And I'm more driven, more laser focused. I've learnt to balance my time, but we'll get into more of this new mentor that I'm with tomorrow on part 3. And part 3 is where my story ends, because you would have been caught up to speed in my 2.5-year journey. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it made sense and that you can get some value from it. If you're watching the replay, then drop a 2 in the comments below, and I'll catch you on my next one.